Hey everyone, ready for today's deep dive?
Absolutely.
We're going to be taking a look at Christos Faloutsos.
Yeah, pretty big name in AI.
He might not be a household name.
But his work really is everywhere.
If you've ever gotten a Netflix recommendation,
Oh, for sure. Or if you've used a credit card without it being hacked.
or if you've read about the latest breakthroughs in disease modeling.
That's all thanks to Faloutsos' work.
Yeah, so we're going to be using this in-depth profile on him.
Really fascinating read, by the way.
It goes all the way from his start in Greece
Where he started as a math whiz.
to a pioneer of AI.
Exactly.
So are you ready to unpack how his work is literally shaping the technology that we use every single day?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's going to be a fascinating journey.
All right, let's dive in.
So Christos Faloutsos, he's truly a giant in the field.
I mean, really.
In AI and data science.
A lot of times with these big names in AI,
Sure.
they're really focused on the theory.
Right. Very academic.
But with Faloutsos,
Yeah.
he takes those complex AI theories,
Right.
and he actually finds a way to apply them to real-world problems.
Solutions that we all benefit from.
Yeah, it's so...
And you're right, his story's so fascinating.
It really is.
It all starts in Greece,
Okay.
where he kind of developed this deep love for math and science.
I love that.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder how our backgrounds affect what we're interested in.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, where would we be if our backgrounds were totally different?
Who knows, right?
I mean, what if he had been born in a different place?
Right.
Different time.
Maybe he wouldn't be doing what he's doing.
Exactly.
But,
Okay, so
yeah.
the article mentions that he started his education at the National Technical University of Athens.
Yeah, that's the NTUA.
NTUA, yeah.
Quite a mouthful, I know.
But it sounds like a pretty great place to start, though, right?
Oh, it was
Yeah.
It was the perfect launch pad for him.
Yeah.
Really gave him that solid foundation
Okay.
in computer science and engineering.
All right, so he's got this great background.
But the thing is, he didn't stop there.
No.
He decided to keep going with his education, so he went up to the University of Toronto for his graduate studies.
Yeah, talk about a big change.
I mean, really, can you imagine?
Going from Greece to North America
Yeah.
for grad school.
That's a whirlwind.
That's a whole new world.
New experiences, new people, new everything.
A huge leap of faith.
So what was the AI scene like back then?
You know, even back then, U of T was, it was a powerhouse in computer science.
Oh.
And it still is today.
Wow.
And it was really there that Faloutsos he dove headfirst
Okay.
into this world of data mining, databases, machine learning.
So he's really diving into this world that's still so new at the time.
Oh yeah, this was really cutting edge stuff.
So this is where things get really, really interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The article dives into something called graph mining.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest,
Sure.
when I first read that, I pictured someone with a pickaxe and a shovel digging for gold.
In a graph.
Yeah, in a graph.
I can see that.
I mean, it's called graph mining, right?
Yeah, well, it's actually way cooler than digging for gold, I promise.
Okay,
Think of it like Facebook.
okay,
Facebook is a giant graph.
okay,
Every single person on Facebook is a point.
okay.
And then all the lines connecting those people
Yeah,
represent their friendships.
okay,
So that's a very simplified version
That's
of
nice.
graph theory.
okay.
And it's how Faloutsos sees the entire world.
Oh, wow.
He sees it as a web of interconnected relationships.
So we're talking way beyond just social media here.
Well, absolutely. It's not just Facebook. It's everything.
Okay,
You know, how genes interact in our bodies,
okay.
the flow of money in the economy.
Wow.
Graph theory helps AI make sense of all of these really complex networks.
Okay, so that's blowing my mind a little bit.
It's pretty amazing stuff.
So Faloutsos, he's using graph theory to see these hidden connections in everything.
Yeah, it's like he can see things that we can't.
The article mentions something about his work on the HIATS algorithm.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I tried wrapping my head around it, but
It's very complex.
it's really complex.
Yeah, it's really complex, but it's super important.
Okay,
Let's say you're searching online
okay,
for the best pizza place in town.
okay, so I'm hungry, I'm on Google.
Right.
Okay,
The HIAT algorithm basically helps Google and other search engines
okay,
figure out which websites are the most authoritative
on pizza.
on pizza in your town.
Okay.
That way you're not just getting flooded with a bunch of random results.
So every time that I'm Googling something,
Yeah.
I'm kind of benefiting from Faloutsos' work.
Yeah, you're benefiting from his genius.
That's kind of cool.
It is pretty cool.
And the thing is,
Yeah.
he didn't just stop at analyzing these networks, right?
No,
He went a step further.
He did.
And he decided to explore how these networks can break down.
Right.
How a single failure can actually trigger this domino effect
Exactly. Like one little thing goes wrong.
Yeah.
And the whole system can fall apart.
That sounds a little scary.
Well, it can be.
Yeah.
It can be.
Is that what network robustness is about?
Yeah, it's part of it.
And cascading failures?
You got it.
Okay.
So imagine like a power grid, right?
Okay.
One tiny failure
Yeah.
can cascade through the entire system.
Wow.
And then boom, you've got a massive blackout.
Okay, so it's more than just a domino effect.
Right.
Like,
it's like an avalanche.
yeah, an avalanche. That's a good way to put it.
Right.
So that can happen with communication networks.
Absolutely.
Financial systems.
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah.
What if like one bank fails
Oh, yeah.
and then everyone panics
Yeah.
and then they all start taking their money out?
Yeah, so the consequences can be huge.
Huge, yeah.
So Faloutsos' research is helping us to understand these vulnerabilities
Right.
and to design better systems.
More resilient systems.
So he's not just mapping these networks.
No, he's trying to make them stronger.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
It is.
Okay, so we've talked about mapping networks. We've talked about making them more resilient.
Yep.
But let's jump to another area
Sure.
where Faloutsos really made an impact.
Yeah.
That's anomaly detection.
Right.
I like to think of anomaly detection
Okay.
as AI Sherlock Holmes.
I like that.
Yeah, so you've got these tiny little clues that most of us would miss completely,
Right.
but AI can see them.
Yeah, it's like having a superpower.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
You nailed it.
And like,
Anomaly detection is really about finding the needles in the haystack of data.
so give me an example.
Okay, imagine you see a sudden spike in credit card transactions.
On my account.
Yeah, on your account.
Okay.
That's an anomaly.
Yeah.
That could signal fraud.
Okay, so now AI is playing detective
It is.
to sniff out fraud.
That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Okay, so we've got AI playing detective sniffing out fraud. That's pretty impressive. But the article mentioned that Faloutsos specifically focused on anomalies in time series data. Now I'm picturing some fancy clock with data points instead of numbers.
You're on the right track.
Am I getting close?
Time series data is basically any data that changes over time.
Okay.
So think of stock prices
Okay.
fluctuating every second.
Yeah.
Or the temperature readings from a weather station.
Okay.
So Faloutsos, he developed these incredibly sophisticated methods
Okay.
to analyze these constantly changing patterns
Okay.
and pinpoint those really weird blips
Okay.
that might indicate a hidden problem or maybe a golden opportunity.
So this is huge for the financial world.
Oh, yeah.
But what about other areas? Are we talking weather forecasting, maybe even predicting earthquakes?
Absolutely. Anywhere you have trends and patterns that unfold over time.
Okay.
Faloutsos' work on anomaly detection can be a game changer.
Okay.
It's like having an AI watchdog that never sleeps.
Wow, that's pretty powerful.
It is.
But wait, it gets even more interesting. The article mentions Faloutsos didn't just stop at time series data. He also tackled anomalies in those complex networks that we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Fine, my brain needs a little help here.
Right.
What would a network anomaly look like?
Let's picture that Facebook graph again.
Okay.
Imagine a sudden explosion of activity on a specific page.
Okay.
Way more than usual.
Okay.
That could be a sign of a viral marketing campaign,
Okay.
or it could indicate something more sinister, like a coordinated disinformation campaign.
Whoa, that's kind of scary.
It can be.
So we're talking about AI that can help us spot those subtle shifts in online behavior.
Yeah, those subtle changes, that might signal something's wrong.
Okay.
Or let's say you're managing a massive computer network.
Okay.
A user account suddenly starts behaving strangely, accessing files they never have before sending out tons of emails.
Okay.
That could be a red flag for a security breach.
Okay, so we've got AI guarding against fraud, predicting problems in complex systems, and now it's like an AI cybersecurity expert.
That's right. Faloutsos has really covered all the bases.
He really has, but he doesn't stop there.
Nope.
Remember how we talked about how he sees the world as this interconnected web of relationships?
Yes.
That led him to another groundbreaking area, making machine learning work on those truly massive data sets we see today.
Right. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to train a computer with a library's worth of information.
Yeah, that sounds like a recipe for a computer meltdown.
It's a data deluge.
How on earth do you make AI handle that kind of information overload?
That was exactly the challenge Faloutsos tackled.
Okay.
He focused on making those powerful machine learning algorithms more efficient without sacrificing accuracy.
Okay.
He knew that for AI to truly work in the real world, it had to be able to handle real-world data And that often meant dealing with enormous data sets.
I see. It's like training AI for a marathon, not just a sprint.
Yep.
The article mentions something called approximation methods. Is that part of the secret sauce?
It is. It's like finding clever shortcuts that still give you the right answer.
Okay.
Imagine you're reading a super long article,
Yeah.
but you just need the gist of it.
Okay. I do that all the time.
You might skim through it, picking out the key points.
Right.
Approximation methods are kind of like that, finding ways to simplify those complex calculations without losing the essential information.
Okay, so AI is getting smarter and more efficient.
Exactly.
I bet that's been a game changer for those recommendation systems we talked about earlier.
Absolutely.
Like how Netflix knows what shows to suggest.
Right.
Even though they have millions of users and thousands of titles.
It's all about analyzing those massive amounts of data,
Right.
about user preferences.
Yeah.
And Faloutsos' work on scaling up machine learning
Yeah.
has made that analysis possible.
Okay, so to recap, we've got graph mining, revealing hidden connections, anomaly detection, acting like a super smart watchdog, and now we've got AI crunching massive data sets to give us personalized recommendations.
It's pretty amazing what he's accomplished.
What else could this guy possibly do?
He's got one more trick up his sleeve that's pretty mind-blowing.
Oh no, come on.
Remember how we talked about Facebook as a graph?
Yeah.
Now imagine trying to understand what's happening on Facebook using only the text posts.
You'd be missing a big part of the picture.
Exactly. And that's why Faloutsos pioneered a field called multimodal integration.
Multimodal integration.
Yeah, it's about combining different types of data, text, images, graphs, you name it,
Okay.
to get a much richer, more accurate understanding.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but I need a real-world example here. How does this multimodal integration thing actually work in practice?
Let's take healthcare.
Okay.
Imagine being able to combine a patient's medical records with their medical images, lab results, and even their genetic data.
Wow.
It's like assembling a giant puzzle. But instead of a picture, you're getting a complete picture of the patient's health.
Whoa, that's amazing.
It is.
So we're talking about AI that can help doctors make more precise diagnoses.
Right.
Maybe even predict health risks before they become serious problems.
You got it?
And it's not just healthcare.
No.
What about genomics? The study of genes and DNA.
Absolutely. Instead of just looking at raw genetic sequences,
Yeah.
Faloutsos' work allows scientists to combine that data with information about gene function, protein interactions, and even disease associations.
So it's like going from reading a list of ingredients to actually understanding the recipe of life.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, now we're getting philosophical, but seriously, that's a powerful analogy.
It is.
So Faloutsos is not only a brilliant researcher, but he's also finding ways to make this incredibly complex technology work in the real world.
Yeah, solving real problems.
Exactly, and his impact goes way beyond his own research. He's also been a professor at Carnegie Mellon University.
One of the top computer science schools in the world.
For many years.
Yeah, and he's known for being an incredible mentor,
Oh, wow.
inspiring a whole new generation of AI innovators.
It's like a ripple effect of brilliance.
It is.
The article mentioned a few of his former students, right? What are they up to now?
Oh, they're doing amazing things.
Such as?
Well, there's Deepayan Chakrabarty.
Okay.
He's now leading research at Microsoft and Facebook,
Okay.
working on those large-scale graph analysis and recommendation systems we discussed.
Right.
And then there's Rong Jingxiang,
Okay.
who's focused on the cutting edge of machine learning and graph theory,
Okay.
especially predicting links and connections in complex networks.
That's pretty cool.
And let's not forget Charu Agarwal,
Okay.
who's become a leading authority in data mining and big data analytics, building on the foundations Faloutsos helped lay.
Wow. So it's like a family tree of AI geniuses.
It really is.
All branching out from Faloutsos. But speaking of making knowledge accessible, the article mentioned that Faloutsos is a big advocate for open source. Can you explain what that means for those of us who aren't programmers?
Sure. Imagine a chef sharing their secret recipe with the world,
Okay.
so anyone can recreate that amazing dish.
Okay.
It's about making knowledge and tools freely available so that everyone can benefit,
So instead of keeping his algorithms and code under lock and key,
right?
he makes them available for others to use, modify, and build upon.
That's right.
So he's not just pushing the boundaries of AI, he's also making it more democratic, more accessible.
He's a true believer in the power of open collaboration.
That's pretty inspiring.
It is.
It really is incredible, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
From Greece to the global stage of AI, what a journey.
That's quite a story.
It is.
Yeah.
But now I want to hear from you, dear listener.
Yeah. What do you think?
What's your takeaway from all this?
Yeah. What stood out to you the most?
Was it the sheer scope of Faloutsos' work?
I mean, he's touched so many different fields.
Everything from online recommendations to healthcare breakthroughs.
It's mind-boggling, really.
It really is.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was that aha moment when you realized how much his research has quietly shaped your own digital life.
Because it has, whether we realize it or not.
Let's be honest, graph mining.
Right?
It doesn't sound like the most exciting thing in the world.
It's not exactly a catchy phrase.
But think about it. He's using AI to map the hidden connections that drive everything around us.
It's like he's given us X-ray vision.
I love that.
Right? We could suddenly see all these connections that were invisible before.
He's given us a new set of lenses.
To see the world in a whole new way.
To understand how things truly work.
Exactly.
It's brilliant.
And what I find really fascinating is that he's not just observing these networks.
Right.
He's actually finding ways to make them stronger, more resilient.
So like with the cascading failures.
Right. That's such important work.
I mean, it's really helping us understand how to prevent those domino effects.
The things that can just cripple power grids.
Yeah.
Financial systems.
Social networks even.
Absolutely. It affects us all.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's really trying to make the world a more stable place.
He's like the architect of a more robust,
more interconnected
world. I love it.
It's a good way to put it.
I also loved hearing about his work on anomaly detection.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a good detective story?
I mean, it's mind-blowing to think that AI can act like a digital Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Always on the lookout for those tiny clues.
Yeah.
That could point to anything.
I mean, it could be something small like credit card fraud.
Right.
Or it could be something huge like a major system failure.
It's all about finding those subtle signals in the noise.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's not just finding those anomalies.
Right.
He also revolutionized how we analyze time series data.
Right.
So that's the kind of data that's constantly changing, right?
Yes. It's always in flux.
So things like stock prices, weather patterns.
Right. Think of it like a river.
Okay.
It's always flowing, always changing.
Okay, so his work has given us the tools to not just react to problems, but to anticipate them.
Yeah.
Maybe even prevent them altogether.
That's the ultimate goal.
So we've got AI mapping our world, making it more resilient,
strong,
and acting like a super smart watchdog, constantly scanning for trouble.
Always vigilant.
But there's one more piece of Faloutsos' genius that I find really exciting, and that's his work on scaling up machine learning.
Right.
Because we live in a world of data overload.
We're drowning in data.
And he found those clever shortcuts, those approximation methods that allow AI to handle these massive data sets.
Without getting bogged down.
Yeah, without getting completely overwhelmed.
It's like finding the signal in the noise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a brilliant approach, and it's been crucial for those personalized recommendations.
The ones we all rely on.
I mean, think about Netflix. Think about Amazon. Those, you might also like nudges.
Right, they're everywhere.
They have to sift through mountains of data.
About our preferences.
To make those recommendations.
And it's all thanks to Faloutsos.
Yeah, so in a way, he's made AI more human.
Yeah, I like that.
Able to handle complexity.
To deal with the messiness of the real world.
Exactly.
And that's a huge accomplishment.
But he didn't stop there.
Of course not.
Remember that whole idea of combining different types of data?
Multimodal integration.
Multimodal integration, that's where things get really futuristic.
Oh yeah, that's where things get really interesting.
So it's like taking those puzzle pieces from different boxes and assembling a much richer, more complete picture.
Exactly.
So in healthcare, it's about merging medical records with imaging scans,
lab results,
and even genetic data.
To get a truly holistic view of the patient's health.
And in genomics, it's about combining raw DNA sequences with information about gene function.
Protein interactions, disease associations.
It's like going from reading a basic instruction manual to understanding the symphony of life itself.
It's a beautiful analogy.
And this is all possible because Faloutsos saw the limitations of working with just one type of data.
Yeah, he knew that wasn't enough.
He understood that true understanding comes from synthesizing different perspectives.
From integrating those seemingly disparate pieces of information.
And that's just brilliant.
It is.
But I also want to highlight something else that really stood out to me about Faloutsos.
Yeah.
And that's his commitment to open source.
Absolutely.
In a world where knowledge is often hoarded and guarded.
Right. People keep their secrets close.
He's chosen to share his work freely.
Yeah.
Allowing others to build upon his discoveries.
He's a true believer in the power of collaboration.
It's an incredibly generous approach,
It is.
and it speaks volumes about his values.
It shows you what he really cares about.
He truly believes that AI should be a force for good,
Right, not just something that benefits a few.
a tool that everyone can benefit from.
Exactly.
And by making his work open source, he's helping to democratize AI,
Yeah, make it accessible to everyone.
to ensure that it's not just in the hands of a privileged few.
It's a powerful message.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder that true progress often comes from collaboration.
From sharing ideas and building upon each other's work.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Christos Faloutsos,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
Imagine a world
Yeah.
where AI can help us solve some of humanity's most pressing challenges.
That's the dream, isn't it?
I mean, think about combating climate change,
Right.
developing personalized medicine,
Curing diseases.
understanding the deepest mysteries of the universe.
That'd be incredible.
I mean, Faloutsos has laid the groundwork for this future.
He's given us the tools.
A future where AI is not just a powerful tool
But a partner in our quest for knowledge.
and progress.
Exactly.
So, dear listener, as you go about your day,
Yeah.
remember the name Christos Faloutsos?
A true pioneer.
He's the AI pioneer whose work is quietly shaping our world.
One algorithm at a time.
Yeah, one algorithm at a time.
And who knows, maybe his story will inspire you
Yeah.
to dive deeper into the world of AI.
To discover the incredible possibilities.
That lie ahead.
Until next time,
Yeah.
keep exploring
Keep questioning.
and keep diving deep